Okay guys, this is Loyalty's first Feng kill, and this is Kellen, and I'm going to go through this and give you guys some of the tips that we figured out the hard way on this guy. It's three phases. We start in phase one with Epicenter and Lightning Fist. Your tank should be familiar with that before you get in here, but just in case you need some clearing up, the nullification barrier is going to be used through the entire fight. Lightning Fist only really comes into play here in the first phase. You'll see that we've got all the ranged and heals already over by the first statue that the boss is going to go to, so we don't have to run on the pole. The tanks go in, grab their crystals, and we begin phase one. There's three markers over by that first statue, one for each of the tanks and one for the heals DPS group. We found it easier to stack on the side than to stack in the middle like most of the raid guides show. This way we don't ever have to worry about the Lightning Fist stun coming through the raid group and dealing extra damage. We're close enough that we can get in and out real quickly. The barrier is always going to be on the blue square. The bad news is if you don't get into the barrier, then you're so close to the boss you take a lot of damage, but you have plenty of warning as long as you're paying attention, which you'll see we do have to do a couple times. We were lucky with stuns, so it only came up twice, I believe, in our kill, which this pull right here is not the kill. This is just a good example of phase one. You can't hear the tanks talking because I turned the vent off for this video, but throughout this entire fight it's really important that both tanks talk so that the tank with the barrier knows when it needs to go up and when it doesn't. If a stun is available, you do not need to put up the barrier. In this case, we didn't have a stun available, so everybody had to get in. You want to get back out quickly because he will cast his stun back out there just like that. And if you're standing there, you take damage and you're stunned for 4 or 5 seconds. But you can see we just have to run in and out. It's a very short distance. Very easy to get in if you're paying attention and the tanks are talking and vent, letting everybody know when a barrier is going to be up and when a stun's available. Just pay attention. Don't tunnel in on your rotation, and phase one's really pretty easy. Okay, we're almost to phase two. He's at about 69%. The other purpose of the markers that helps in phase two is that's the area where we always drop the wildfire sparks. So it makes it nice and simple. When phase two begins, we're going to run to the center. And immediately he starts casting this wildfire spark debuff on someone. They have to move over to the left to our markers, and that's where we choose to drop it every time. And there you see, I just got it, so I'm running over, dropping it by the markers. Do not run through it on your way in or out. It does extra damage and it causes extra seeds, which if they get absorbed, that means more damage to the entire raid. We found that out the hard way. We did that a couple times. Everybody's grouped pretty much in the middle. DBM will tell you if it's on you. Not only do you get the little chat bubble over your head, you also get a great big blue warning right in the middle of the screen when it's on you. Okay, the tank just used nullification barrier there to try to absorb all of the flame that was being drawn in. That's the purpose of it for this phase of the fight. He can drop it on the boss or in between the flame and the boss, depending how well you have it stacked. If it's all over the room, it's advised to drop it directly on top of the boss. Yeah, that's my third time getting Spark, and you might have noticed that one of the times I did actually run through the edge of the flames coming back. That was something we found out just caused unnecessary damage. And right there, the draw flame actually went through the group because we didn't drop it too well. Again, that's not good. If you're a utility class where you have heals or defensive cooldowns, during this draw flame is a perfect time to use them. If the nullification barrier wasn't able to intercept everything, and the tank should make that call. In our raid, we had a shaman who was helping out with heals there. Okay, now we're going into phase 3. You can see we're spreading out. You want to be in a circle. We use that gold ring in the middle of the room. The reason for that is the resonance in phase 3. You'll see it. There's a screenshot where I pointed out. It's got a little purple ring around the person. Anyone inside that ring is taking extra damage, and it is a raid killer. So that's the reason for. There you go. That's why we're staying out. Now, what we just stacked for was velocity. The further away you are when that happens, the more damage you take. So everybody wants to collapse. And if you have resonance, you want to move in, but you want to stay out far enough that you're not actually hitting anybody with resonance. But the closer you are, the less damage you take from velocity. And you're going to see here in a second, Cats is going to get it, run all the way out to the edge of the room, and the velocity damage is so high that it just toasts them. Now, one thing we didn't do too well at first was getting back out of the velocity. It's just like the Hour of Twilight from Dragon Soul. When the boss's channel is about 20%, that's the time to book it. Because what will happen is he will cast a resonance on someone while you're all grouped up, and it'll hit everybody, and for every person it hits, it gets magnified. And so it wipes everybody. Now see, there goes Cats, all the way out to the side of the room. And you're going to see when his velocity is over that he's dead. And that's why. Now, I was a little bit slow getting out when I got resonance here, and I clip Blood Rain and kill him. Which really kind of sucks, because this wipe was at 1.3%, and if Blood Rain had been alive, I'm sure it would have been a kill. But now here we go again, and this time we've learned our lessons. We don't worry so much about our DPS on the velocity stage. We just get in and get out as quickly as possible, concentrating more on our movement, our spacing, than on our DPS. Again, carries a little further than he needs to be, but you know, we're learning this as we go. He could move in quite a bit right there, but we're packed nice and tight, and you see we're leaving the stack before the completion, and everybody's still alive, and that was what we found made the difference. And with 10 people alive, the last 10% of the boss's health goes really fast, and you get a kill. So hopefully you guys see some things here that will help you in your raid tonight, tomorrow, whenever, when you get to Feng, and you don't need to put in the 20 or 30 wipes it took us to pick those things up. So hope this helps. If you have any questions or feedback, this is Kellen. Feel free to message me in game, or most of you probably have my email address. Thanks a lot, and good luck tonight.